I'm going to show you some new tools. The first tool that I got for you is this Purdy scraper. When you pick it up and take a look at it, you'll see this blade on the end. This is the blade right here. It's a little bit out of position. Okay, so I push it kind of back to where it needs to be. That screw that you see in the center is what holds it down. This is what you use after, or before. You might want to use it before the sanders. You use this to get those little places that you can't get with the sanders. Let's see if we get lucky. All right. I'm going to go for the top edge. So I press down. Notice one hand on the handle, one hand pressing down right above where the blade is. So I'm pressing fairly hard where that blade is, and then a good strong pull. Stupid blade. Let's see. Hopefully you can see that result. That stuff is going off of there. If you can't see it on the film, I'm in 03, and this is the section. I got you a DeWalt sander. It's a mouse sander. The sanding attachment is on it. You won't need to fool with taking that on or off. The control is right here. Variable speed control, faster. The more you squeeze it in, the faster it goes. That's on a little bit. Squeeze it more. Faster, faster. There's the blade. This is the 5-in-1 tool. It's beveled. You can use it to scrape, and you can use that point to scrape. Please don't cut yourself. All right, so there's your new Purdy 5-in-1. Next, I'll show you the 5-inch sander. There are some special things about how you use that. You have to kind of rock back and forth to make it really work. I'm going to put on the paper that you don't like, the 40 grit paper, and let's see what I can do with that. The 40 grit paper is on there. It's not perfectly aligned with the holes. The better you align it with the holes, well, if you don't, then as it spins, it'll start to come off. It's a big mess. All right, now I'm going to do some sanding. I'll start at low speed. You'll find at low speed, it causes you less trouble. So let's try it, see what happens. When you hold this sander, always use two hands. you've got to use two hands. Usually, you're going to put, if you're right-handed, you'll put your right hand on the top part of the sander. You'll put your left hand down near where the sanding pad is. There, you put your left hand down there. You're going to use that to control the sander. As you work, you're going to be rocking. That's really important. You rock up and down, you rock side to side, and of course you're moving back and forth as you go. I am right next to the dryer cubby. This little orange dial is the speed. I'm going to set it, for starters, to a low speed, turn it on, and I think what I'll do is see how well I can get this curved section using the big sander. I think I can do it. What I'm going to do is turn this on. It's still on the lowest possible speed, still on 2. And when I use it, what I'll be doing is just brushing up and down. Let's see how that works. You probably noticed as long as I was very, very gently brushing up and down, the paper was just barely touching. When I was doing that, it took the finish off and it didn't chew up the wood. When I tried to go like this, it chewed up the wood. And if I put more pressure on it when I was going up and down, it chewed up the wood. This part is where you would use the Purdy scraper. Let me try the 5-in-1 tool first. The blade is on this side, so you want it going in this direction. From here it'll be a little awkward, but let's see how it does. All right, see, I'm pulling with this hand on the handle, and I'm pushing the blade into the wood. I got my fingers right down where the blade is, and pushing pretty hard, as hard as I can. That didn't quite do it. It kind of does it. All right, now I've got the Purdy scraper. You see that blade is still loose. I haven't tightened it yet. Need to do that. Same thing. I'm gonna push that blade so that it's right up against the edge of the wall. And two hands, one on the blade, pulling really hard, or one on the handle, pulling really hard, left hand on the blade, pushing down, and then I pull. And that worked nicely. Yeah, that worked very nicely. See, the blade slid out, so, I push it back in. Need to tighten that blade. I'll try to tighten it before you come. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Yeah, this is great. This is great fun. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Oh yeah. Yep, that really takes it off. That does the job. Now, what about these curved parts? Okay. Same thing. You can get them with a 5-inch if you've got it going on really slow, right? The speed is still set on 2, and I just barely touch and kind of brush up and down. Let's see what happens. Instead of brushing up and down, I just ran it all the way along, and I'll do the same thing and get this bit that's left. That's the 40 grit paper, and as you can see, yeah, you're right, it chews it up, so you may want to try this with the 100 grit paper. Let's see how it does right in here. Want to just barely touch it. Okay, if you're patient and you just barely touch with the 40 grit paper, really, really gentle, then it will do it without chewing the wood. I was holding my left hand on the where the dust comes out. That was what worked well. And my right hand here. Now, when you do these low parts, you can actually lie down on the floor and you can let the sander rest all the way on the floor. Let's see what we get. All right, 40 grit paper, can be real gentle. to get up on my knees now. Lying on the floor didn't work so well, so I'm up on my knees. You can see it did chew it up some. There's the new DeWalt mouse sander, 60 grit paper. In the front bedroom of 1503, I have all the supplies. You'll see a yellow box with a bunch of different sanding papers. This one, it's the paper that DeWalt sent with the sander. All came in the same box. I really would have expected that it would fit. But anyway, let's try this section that's remaining right here. Yeah, that's in your video. I'll turn this just a little bit. All right. Variable speed. Push this. The more I push it, the faster it goes. Let's just see how we do. Now, 2 hands, 1 on the trigger, 1 up near the sanding head, and I'm going to try just brushing first. See how that does. Notice how this has a little light that comes on. Shows you what you're doing, I guess. That will do it, but it's not as fast as the 5-inch sander. Let's get this bit here. For contrast, I'm going to re-aim the camera on a new section and try it with the 5-inch sander. I'm using the 5-inch sander. It's still set on the lowest speed. The paper is the most coarse paper that we have. And remember, I think the thing to remember is butterfly kisses. If you just give this thing little butterfly kisses, sliding up and down, that should take off the finish without destroying the wood. And let's see how quickly I can do this section with this sander compared to what it took with the other sander. That's a lot faster with a 5-inch sander. A lot faster. Just keep it on a low speed and little butterfly kisses. Hold it with 2 hands. Remember that the edges are where you really get the work done, so you want to use the edge of the sander. This time, I'm going to use the trailing edge of the sander to take this down to bare wood, I think. Let's see how this goes. That's fast. That's very, very fast. Notice at the end it was digging into the wood. Probably you don't need to get that close. You can use this Purdy scraper. Yeah, I really need to tighten this blade. All right, but you can use this, you should be able to use the Purdy scraper. Let's see. All right, maybe not. Let's try it on here. That works really nicely on there. Okay, the wood's a little rough because of what I did scraping it, but there are 2 things I haven't told you. I'm going to come back with a finer paper and clean up all this roughness. The other thing is anything that you have trouble getting, just leave it. So stuff like this, you know, if you can't get that, I'll figure out a way. I really hope I don't have to take up carpet, but I'll figure out a way to do this. Just out of curiosity, let me see if I can clean this up right now. So, 2 hands. All right, not bad. Little butterfly kisses. Just barely touch it. Use 2 hands, low speed, and the most coarse grit that you can find. Be real gentle when you touch it, and it won't chew up the wood. Then I'll come back with finer paper, and you know, everything will be great. If you get a part that you can't quite get, just leave it. You know, you're a great help to me. It saves me all kinds of time. You know, so don't worry about this. You're doing a great job. If you leave this, you know, you're doing a great job saving me time. I'll come back, clean this up. Place will look great. All right, thank you very much. Your help has really been a big deal on this project, and I appreciate it. Cheers.